What's up, YouTube family? My name is Miko, and for today's video, what I'm going to be teaching you is all about fetching API using React, JavaScript, and then Axios. Alright? So what is API basically? API is an application programming interface, and what does it do? Basically, it is used to set definition and protocols for building and integrating application software. Okay? So that's what API do. And right now, as you can see here on my tab, or my page, or within the video, you can see here Afifini.io. It is a source of a lot of different free APIs that you can try to test, so that you can see if you're learning something within the API, and you're learning how to fetch it, how to connect it within your system, and that's one thing that we're going to be learning for today. So beforehand, without any further ado, let's go towards our command prompt and let's pull it out. Alright, and then afterwards, pulling it out, let's go change directory, and then let's create a folder called fetch API 02. Okay, you can name it whatever you want, but I'm just simply naming it fetch API 02. And then let's change directory and go towards to fetch API 02. And once we're there, okay, what we do next is we're going to be doing the npm init react app dot. So this way we can install the React application towards our folder. Alright, so it will take some time for it to be installed, so let's just wait for a couple of seconds, and then I'll be pausing the video or unpausing the video once the installation for the React app is completed. Alright, so wait for a while. Alright, we are now done with installing our React app within the folder that we've just simply created in fetch API 02. Alright, so the next thing that we're going to be doing is we're going to be pulling out our Visual Studio so that we can check out the installation that happened. So yes, I just press the orders and then go to the src, and then let's just go npm start. Okay, so that we can see here the default boilerplate for the React application. So let's just wait for a couple of seconds until you see here that, wait for a while. Wait. So let's just wait for a couple of seconds. I think there's nothing here. But would you like to run the app on another port? So yep, I think yes. Let's just say yes by default. And I think it's going to be gathering a new port for this one, and it's localhost 3001. So let's just wait and see what will happen. And usually it will be prompted here by the default React application, this one. And I'm going to be going back to my Visual Studio once more so that we can first eliminate those unnecessary. So I'm just going to be eliminating app.test.js, index CSS, logo SVG, and then setup test.js. So I'm going to be deleting all of those because I actually don't need that. And in here we'll be prompted by the error because we still have here the imports for those that I just simply deleted a while ago. And we just need to delete all of those, so that we will be having no errors at all. So app.css, let's go up until here, and then index.js. Let's save that, and then yep, everything is now running. So in order for me to check it out, I just need to put here hello world. Okay, and then control save. Then I should be seeing here hello world. Alright, so we have now the boilerplate for app.js for the React app that we're currently creating. So the next thing that I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be pulling out my template because I don't want to not style this one, but I'm going to be pulling out using form, CodePen, HTML, CSS, and then I'm just going to the image because I actually check out some good, cool template for this one. So yep, I think this one will be great. And then yep, I'm just going to be copying that, and I will return to my Visual Studio and just simply paste this, but I'll be removing the div and replacing it replacing the form as div. Okay, then afterwards I'm gonna be removing the action method post because we're not gonna be using that. The field set as well, we're gonna be removing that up until the button because we don't actually declare the field set here, so it will have an error if ever. And then we'll just put a closing statement here on my input, and then removing the data submit, and then the ID because I don't know which function does it call, And once I save this and I go back again to my React app, it will show it like this. And once I copy paste the full CSS and go to the app.css and then paste the full CSS, it will be changed now to this one. Alright, so instead of name that you can see here, we'll be putting here on the app.js your name, because we're gonna be using this gender.io. So I don't know, let's try to check out what this API simply do. So if I put in look, it will go the gender, it will actually see your gender or respond to you with the gender for that specific name. So for example, it's Gerald. So yeah, okay, so that's cool. Okay, so it simply shows if you put in the name, then it will give you the definition for your name. So for example, your name is for male, your name is for female. So that's it. So let's now create our Axios. Okay, let's import first the use state before the Axios, because we still didn't install that. So use state from, and then React, and then semicolon, and then just a while ago I just said that I'm gonna be using Axios. So since I'm gonna be using Axios, yes, and then on here let's go let's type in npm install Axios. So once we're done installing that one, I'm gonna be just putting it here npm Axios from Axios. So let's try to check it out if it's working, but I guess we still didn't start it. So let's npm start, check out what happened next. Alright, so let's just wait for a couple of seconds, and let's remove this, and yep, we'll be using a different port for this one. So I guess it's good. So afterwards of the installation of the Axios, we're now going to be coding the state and yep. So let's just do inspect here, and let's go to the console log. Now there are a lot of warnings, but that's not an error. Maybe because there are some IDs here that should be defined as well. So let's start first by going through the connection between our API. So how do we do that? Alright, so the first thing that we need to do is we're gonna be using this, okay, and let's create here an onChange, okay, an event, which we're gonna be naming set name. Alright, so let's just copy paste that, and then set name event dot value, or target dot value. So once we're done there, let's just say here on the submit the on click, and then in here let's say display info. Alright, so once we're done there, let's just now create here the declaration. So for the const set name, or name set is equals to use state, and then this. So const display info is equals to function, and from that function we're gonna have this, and we're gonna be saying an Axios dot get, because we're getting it, and then we're gonna be copy pasting this full. Alright, and then after that we're gonna be doing a dot then, which will give us the response once we click the display info or the button. So let's just do console.log first, and then let's say here response.data, and let's check it out. So if I go here in the React app and say click submit, I should be saying here that the name and the gender But since I still didn't put in anything within, put here the name and the gender. Okay, I'm really sorry. Just need to cut the video a while ago because it's 10 minutes and I still don't have the full feature for the Bandicam. So yep, every 10 minutes. That's the reason why I'm so fast in talking. So afterwards that we have this specific response, what we're gonna be doing next in the console log, response in the console log, what we're gonna be doing next is we're gonna put in the specific name or the value of name in here. Okay, so for example, the value that should be emitted in this particular section will be this. So okay, so for example, the event the targeted value is the name in here. Alright, so let's just create another constant value here, which say list. Okay, and then set list, and it equals to use state and this one. Alright, so every time that we created here the list, okay, the list or the set list, alright, we have response.data of the gender. So, right, and in here we should have this, and we will be calling this. So if I click on submit, objects are not valid as React child. So yep, I still didn't actually get the name, and then so it shouldn't be like that. Response name plus, for instance, yep, let's try the response name. And the name is here. That's the parameter for this one. So let's try it out again. For instance, I submit. So it's null because I didn't put the name here. But for instance, I'm gonna be putting the name, so let's just remove that. And in this one, okay, let's type in the name. So if there is a name, then the response would be the name, and then the response would be after the name, or response dot data dot let's go here and copy the parameters to gender, response dot data dot say the probability. So if I type in the name in here, for instance, Gerald Miko, if I submit that, it says null because I think it's not accepting space. So let's try to submit once more. So Gerald is a male, 0.99, and then for example, Abigail, male, female, 0.98. But first, to have a clear, actually more clear, yep. So yeah, no, let's just have a more clear. Okay, so that's how you do the Axios fetching of API. So I hope you learn a lot. Thank you so much for watching, and bye for now.